All right. Yep. So we're going to be talking through PowerPoint today. Again, used to do presentations. So to start up PowerPoint, it's the same thing as we did with Microsoft Word, also with Microsoft Excel. So we can start down here in this search menu. You can just click in that search menu and type PowerPoint. This is the symbol for PowerPoint. Looks very similar to the other Microsoft Office symbols, but it's going to be orange with a P. You can just click on it and it should open right up. If you are paying for Microsoft Office, which or Office 365, which are paid subscriptions, so PowerPoint is not a free application. You do have to pay for it. But once you pay for it, you get access to it. You get consistent upgrades and things as they release new versions of it. You'll get all of the freshest material. So of course, when you open it, just like Excel and in Word, you can also use some of these presentations up here. So there's some themes and some generic slide decks up here that you can choose from. You can also choose from additional themes right here where it says more themes. Obviously, if you wanted a blank one, you could go here. Let's click on new and see what else we have. Also under new, you can see that these are a bunch of different themes here. Have some look like a beach, the pitch deck like a black spider web type thing, some outdoorsy stuff, some shape stuff. This looks like probably some kind of an office meeting over here. We could even type in something like, let's say we do trees. I don't know if anything's going to come up. Yep. So if you wanted to do a family tree, or if you wanted like actual physical trees in the background, something like this, I could click on this one. And this one looks like it's some kind of a calendar and PowerPoint slides. And then look at that. That's pretty cool, actually. So for each season, it has a different slide with a different background. And then there's fall. And this would just be something maybe you put up on your fridge and just help you remember the days and so forth like that, right? So I think that's pretty neat. I'm going to close this one out. Let's see, close. And then I'm going to go back to file and do new. And again, like let's say you wanted to do one that had to do with education. So these are all, again, themes. So just type in education, and you can see there's actually, wow, there's a lot of different education PowerPoint slides. And again, these are just designs that you can customize for yourself. So let's say you had a kid doing a science project, Earth Day. You can click on this Earth Day one here, and there you go. And then your slides would look something like this. Notice that the format is already there, the background colors. It kind of has this stuff here, which is consistent. So they put some really nice designs into these. The point here is you don't have to work really hard to create a nice looking professional PowerPoint presentation. You don't have to start from scratch with just a blank slide that's white. That's very boring. I encourage people to put a little bit of love into it, do a little bit of research and look around at some of the options. Again, let's do education. And maybe in your case, look, pre-K curriculum. Maybe this one is more appropriate for you, right? It's got like colors that maybe kids might be more excited about to see. But obviously, if you were doing something more professional in the education realm, I'm just going to come back here and do new education. Maybe this one might be most appropriate, right? A little bit more sleeker. It's got adults in it, not kids, etc. So you have a lot of options with these different themes, and they come in handy. I cannot think of the last time, to be honest with you guys, that I started a presentation with just a blank slide and I created my own theme. It's a lot of work to do that. So just use what's available to you when in PowerPoint, and you can get right to it, and you don't have to spend a lot of time trying to come up with a theme. But for today, we are going to just start with a basic one, a white slide. So again, I'm just going to hit blank presentation right here. And then it asks, do I want to save it? I'm going to hit cancel for now. And then this is what your slide looks like essentially. So here you have the slide area. This is where you would add text at. Over here, you have an organizer. So if you had multiple slides, they would be over here to the left. And then up here at the top of your screen, you guys know this is the ribbon. This is just like Microsoft Excel and Microsoft Word. Here at the top of your screen, you have all the options to, insert photos, select text and things like that, make things bold, underline, etc. And as you guys remember from our previous trainings, you know that as you click each one of these, you get a different menu. So under the draw menu, you can draw using your mouse. You can erase, okay? You can draw like red, you can use different kind of colors. This one's like a highlighter one. You got gray, and then you have like a highlighter one where I can highlight things on the screen if I want to highlight something to you. Okay. So a lot of different options there for things to do on that particular menu under the draw. Then you have design, where again you can find different designs, very similar to what we did in the beginning that we were looking at. Transitions, we'll talk about in another lesson. That's what your slide does in between slides. So like when you go from slide 1 to slide 2, does it do like a split action, which would look like that? Does it do a reveal, which is going to look like that? Maybe a drape, curtains. That one was pretty cool. I don't know about you guys. That one was nice. I like to play around with these. Dissolve. That one's kind of nice. Ripple. There's a bunch of different effects that you can do. Obviously, this all depends on the context of your audience and who you're speaking to. If you're speaking to a younger crowd and you want to put some energy into it, I find that these transitions are cool and they appreciate them. If you're talking to a very professional crowd, doing some kind of a lecture or something, then you probably don't want to use all these transitions. And then there's animation where things can kind of fly into your slide and in and out. So we'll also take a look at that another day. Slideshow setup. I'm actually going to go with this one right here for today. Okay. And so we'll look at the rest of this stuff at a later time, but I just want to make sure you understand that there are different menus up here that do different things. And again, this is your ribbon, and this is your slide sorter area over here. All right, I'm going to go ahead and open up the elephant presentation. Does anybody have any questions before we keep going? All right, sounds good. So I'm gonna go ahead and see if I can get this set up for you guys. Like out of that. Let's see what happens when I go here. Okay. So I'm in presentation mode now. I want you to see what I did to get into presentation mode. So down here at the bottom of my screen, this will always be here at the bottom in PowerPoint. You have a couple different options down here. As you can see now, because I opened up a presentation that was already created, you can now see that there's different slides over here. To the left of each slide, it gives you the slide number. So slide 1, slide 2, slide 3. If I want to move slides around, I can just simply click and hold and just move it and then drop it. So click, hold, move, and drop, right? So you can rearrange slides here on the left if you like to. You can also, so this is your normal view here. Here we have our slide sorter. So slide sorter is going to allow you to see the slides in this way. So this is nice when, again, maybe you want to be able to move slides around and rearrange their order. You can use slide sorter to do that. And it's really nice and easy to do it in that way. If I had a lot of slides, I could zoom out and I could see, 100 slides here. Why might you want to do that? Maybe you are working and you have several different presentations you've combined. Some of you may have been to a class before or something where, there's maybe 4 presenters and they have 4 different presentations, and person 1 is going to do presentation 1, and then there's going to be a small break, and then person 2 is going to do their presentation. And so somebody takes all those PowerPoints and combines them into one, and then they just put like a little slide here in the middle maybe that says, oh, let's take a 15-minute break. And then when they come back from the 15-minute break, the next slide goes into the next presentation. And so that would be a use case where you might have 100 slides in a PowerPoint. because you're combining 4 or 5 different slide decks into one presentation for making it easy on the person that's presenting. So that is the slide sorter right here. Again, normal view is going to be slide in the middle. On the left, you slide sorter and then the ribbon up top. Slide sorter view, you're just going to have the sorter. Here you can zoom in and out depending on how many slides you want to be able to see at a time. Okay. And then here you have the reading view. This is what reading view looks like. It's close to the presentation view, but it's nice because it's just a window and it doesn't take up your whole screen. Normally, when you go into presentation mode, it's going to take up your entire screen here, but notice that this is just taking up a window. So it looks like presentation mode. Did you guys see that transition there? Yep. Did you see that animation there? So that's animation. So, and then if you wanted to go to full screen, we could go here and it would go like that. Okay. All right, I'm going to exit out of it. So to exit out of PowerPoint, we just go to escape from the presentation and it goes back. Go ahead here really quick. So here's the full screen mode of what PowerPoint looks like. See how it takes up the entire screen and you guys can see everything that's going on there, right? All right, and let me see if I can get it to show you all what presenter mode looks like. Let's try this. 1 second. Okay. Okay. So I'm going to switch my share screen and I want you to see what it looks like in presenter mode. So you guys can right now see what the PowerPoint looks like. Now I want to share what it looks like from my perspective. So you guys can see over here on the right, this is the presentation mode for the speaker. And then this is what the audience is seeing. So over here on presentation mode, notice that I can see the time right here is 6:20. I can turn off the screen. So I just hit this button here and it blacks the entire screen for the audience. Notice that I can still see my notes. If I had notes here, I can see the next slide and everything is all good to go there. I can, if I had a camera, I could toggle it on and off, but I can turn the slide deck on and off here. I can use a laser pointer. Let's say I wanted to point something out in my presentation. Notice that I can just put it right here and look at what it does on the left. You see what it's doing on the left? It's showing up on the screen. So I could use a laser pointer here. I can use a pen. So I could sign my name. Okay. A lot of different things you can do here from presenter mode. And you can highlight, of course, right? Okay. I can move the slide deck around. So right here, this is see all slides. So notice what happens when I do this. I want you to watch carefully. So let's erase some of this. Can I erase? I can erase all the 8. Okay. So I erased it all. But here, notice what happens when I do this. And notice what happens on the left. So I'm going to go to slides. And now I can see all of my slides. Notice that the one that I'm on is orange, or has an orange kind of ring around it. But if I want to change directly to slide 8, I can just click it right here in presentation mode and it brings it right up. So again, as the presenter, you can look very professional and people don't have to see you working in the background. Like maybe you want to go to a specific slide in your deck. You can just go straight to it by going to slide sorter and you click it and then it shows up over here. Okay. You can zoom on particular parts of your screen. Okay. Just helps people maybe see something. If there's something like a small table or something on your screen and you want people to be able to see it better, you can do that. And there's some other things that you can do right here, okay? So there's a lot of different things you can do in presentation mode. You can swap presenter view and slideshow. You can do duplicate slides, all kinds of fun stuff you can do. I'm going to go ahead and hit end, and then end show. And I'm going to go back to just sharing the screen. Okay. Let's go ahead and see what else we got here. So to review really quick, I'm going to go back to the here. And here on the left, we have the slide pane. We have the ribbon. And then this is the, I'm sorry, this is the slide pane. The slide navigation pane is here because you can navigate multiple of them. And then, of course, we have the ribbon up here. Okay. All right. Let's see what we got. All right, let's go ahead and make a new presentation, and we're just kind of explore some of the basics really quick. All right, so I'm opened up PowerPoint here, and I want to go ahead and make a brand new one. Right here, blank PowerPoint. And I'm not going to save it quite yet, so I'm going to cancel that for now. Notice I've got some ideas, some design ideas that show up over here on the right. Okay, so if I wanted to use those, I could just click it and it would change all my slides to that. Let's say I click that one. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and undo that though. But we're going to just stay with blank for now. And this is a new presentation, which is why it's blank. It is the white with the simple text. So in PowerPoint, you can pick a style of your presentation and it'll help add interest, right? And those, of course, are called themes, which is over here on the right. All right, let's go ahead and look at the design tab. Here, you can see that there's some different themes here also. So if I click the down arrow, and these are some of the more basic ones. They're not quite the ones that we were looking at earlier, but they're decent. They're not bad. There's some starter ones. So depending on your audience, again, that would determine which one you're going to use. Let's talk about that for a second. Why would you want to tailor the pictures and kind of the format of your presentation to your audience? Why is that important? Anybody? Can anybody tell me why is it important to tailor your presentation to your audience?
I guess it's just to help them understand what you're trying to portray or to show them.
Yeah, it's very important
The
to,
picture.
yeah, it's important to know your audience, right? If you're gonna be speaking to I don't know, someone that has a lot of computer experience, you may want to use you can use more technical language, you have like techie stuff in it. But if you're talking to people who don't have a lot of computer experience, maybe you want to keep it more basic, not try to use a lot of technical jargon and words in your presentation. Everything that you do when presenting is about knowing your audience and tailoring your PowerPoint slides to that audience, right? I have even in the past, if I have a presentation that I'm doing, and maybe I'm doing it to different audiences, I will change the presentation, same material, but I'm going to change the delivery and potentially even the slide deck based on the audience. Because sometimes you have an audience that has a lot of experience, so you can talk about additional things. And sometimes you have an audience that has less experience and you want to keep it as basic and you don't want to confuse them with a bunch of extra stuff, right? If you are a medical pharmaceutical rep and you were talking to doctors about medicines and technical jargon, you can have different PowerPoint slides for that. But if you want to talk to a normal citizen about what medicine is best for them, you're probably going to use different language, right? You're not going to use technical language. you're going to use language that the average person would understand. So that's why it's important to know your audience and always keep that in mind when we are looking at doing a presentation. Okay, so let's say I decide that I like this one here. I'm gonna kind of poke around a little bit. Let's do this one right here. Okay, and so I went ahead and chose one. And picking a theme can help make the presentation look, of course, more professional. So this one just kind of looks like, you know, a little bit of like wood paneling here. The colors are kind of soft. They're not too much. Pretty nice, right? And all of these, of course, do have names. So this one is called Integral. You can see it right here below. As I put my mouse over it, this one's called Ion Boardroom. You guys see that popping up? It's a little bit below my mouse. Office 2013-22 theme. This one's called Gallery. This one's called Facet, etc. Okay. All right, so let's look at what happens and how we add text. Actually, I'm going to change it up. I'm going to go with one of these over here. I'm going to go with this one. Boom. I like that one. That one's nice. All right, so how do we add text? So each slide has places where you can type, and they're called text boxes. And to type in a text box, you just simply click in it. So as you can see, this slide currently has two text boxes. You have one here. Normally, your first slide is going to be your title slide, and then maybe a subtitle over here. So let's say we were going to start typing, and let's see. I want to type about me. So we're just going to do a presentation. Let's say I was making one about myself. Okay. So I got about me in there. And let's see. I'm going to put by Eric. Okay. And now let's go ahead and we're going to make a new slide. So to make a new slide, look at these little design ideas over here on the right. They're really nice. I like those. Okay. So I'm just going to actually go up and do home. I'm doing new slide. And let's see what happens when I go to content. So it just gives me a black slide. Let's back out of that. See if we can use one of those right. And now I'm going to go to home, new slide, and I'm going to go with to content right here. Okay. So for this one, I'm going to write in here, again, about me. And again, just to type in here, it's pretty easy. We can type in text. Notice there's a lot of options right here in the middle. We'll look at that in a second. Normally, when I'm doing PowerPoint presentations, I don't recommend that you put too much information on your PowerPoint slide. It's recommended that you only have a couple bullet points. There really shouldn't be full-on sentences in your PowerPoint slide, because when you're briefing, you want to just be giving people an overview of something to look at, but you should be expanding on those bullet points. So for instance, in this case, if I'm writing about me, I might say, I am a analyst for a tech company. And maybe the next thing is I am from Richmond, Virginia. And the last one is I currently live in Kent, Washington, right? So that might be my couple bullet points. It's kind of nice, but let's see what it looks like in presentation mode. Okay, it's kind of straightforward. Maybe a picture would help spice this up a little bit. So let's look at how to add a photo to the slide. So because we did the layout called to content right here, notice this is layout. So this is your slide layout. It'll set up some different ones for you. So we did to content. In the one on the left, I wrote some things about myself. Here on the right, we have some options. We could write additional text, or we could go find some images here, and we could add in a video, or we could get a picture from online, or even a picture from my computer. I'm going to grab a picture from my computer. So I'm just going to click on this one. Notice that as I move my mouse over them, it tells you what each one is. So we have stock images. A stock image is just the image that somebody took and they were paid for that photo. And then that photo can be used on advertisements without having to get permission. Essentially, they're selling the photo and then you can use it any way you feel free to. So that's stock images. We also have pictures. So normally that means pictures that are already on your computer or on a device of yours that you own somewhere. Also to the right of that, what do we have? Insert an icon. So that would just be like a small little picture or something like that. Graphics, you can add charts, you can add a table, which would be similar to a Microsoft Excel. You can insert a video or you can insert a cameo. So in this particular case, let's say I wanted to add a picture of myself. I go here to pictures and I had to find the picture on my computer, right? We've done some work in Microsoft Explorer where you explore windows and find things. Let's just go to pictures and I'll just pick this one. Okay. And then notice over here, it gives me different options on how I want it to look. And you can choose the one that you like the most, right? So there's this one. This is weird. Why did it put a dinosaur where it says I live in Kent, Washington? I don't know what that's about. But there's different formats here that I can click on depending on, I don't like that ultra close up one. That's too much. But different formats, right? Depending on how you want to do it. So I'll just go with that one. Okay. So pretty nice that it gives you these options as you're moving along. Notice that it makes your presentation look pretty decent without you having to do a whole lot of work. Okay. So let's do a new slide again. So if you guys remember, new slide, we go back to the home menu here in the ribbon, and then we go to new slide. And for this one, let's see what I want to check for. Let's do 2 text boxes again. So this one here, 2 content. Notice now I have 3 slides. So I have my main slide, slide number 1, slide 2. Notice that as I click it, it goes into the main area here. And slide 3, okay? Slide 3 doesn't have any text on it yet. These boxes are just kind of holders, but it technically, if I go into presentation mode, notice that there's no text there, okay? So these boxes are just there to help me know where to put text if I want to. If I ended up not using these and I hit delete on them, they'll just go away, okay? So they're not really text that's going to show up if I went into live presentation mode right now, okay? All right, so this one is going to be titled, let's go with favorite foods and drinks. All right, and let's say my favorite foods. Let's do bullets on this one. So again, here we have options. So if I just start typing, there's no bullets. Let's say for this one, we want to do bullets. So I would just come here and I can just do bullets. So this is the icon for bullets. And I'll just select this one. And let's do, I like supreme pizza, water, and ice cream. Okay. Now notice that I'm not expanding a lot. When you do a presentation, and by the way, this is a little small. I'm going to make this bigger. So I'm going to click here to highlight the entire area where we wrote at. And I'm just going to increase the font until it takes up more space. Now, why are we doing that? When we do a presentation, we don't want to have too much extra white area. You have to assume that people are maybe far from your presentation. And so you don't want to have small text. You want to use big letters. Because again, you're not going to have a lot of information on your slide. Because when you're briefing, you would say, oh, my favorite foods and drinks are Supreme Pizza. And then you tell a story about Supreme Pizza. I remember the first time I had Supreme Pizza, it was amazing. This happened, and I didn't think I was going to like it because I didn't like mushrooms. And then I ate it. I thought it was the most wonderful thing ever. And then you go to your next bullet. Let me tell you about water. I love to hydrate. My wife told me that I'm supposed to drink half my body weight in water every single day, and I started doing it, and I love it. I have more energy, et cetera, et cetera. And then you go to the next one. Let me tell you about ice cream. I love ice cream. My favorite flavor is the mint chocolate chip from what's the place called? What's the ice cream place called in around Washington? We don't go there a lot. I can't remember the name of it right now, but you guys get the point, right? So you're here to tell a story normally when you're doing a presentation. So your bullet points are just to give people kind of an idea of what you're going to talk about, but then you should expand on that so that you're not reading from the slide. So everything you're going to tell about yourself is not going to be on the slide, okay? All right, let's back out to escape. Again, let's find now a photo of ice cream. Let's say we wanted to add a photo of ice cream in here. Now, I probably don't have a photo of ice cream on my phone or on my device, but if I want a photo of ice cream just to liven up the slide a little bit, that's when we would use a stock image. So again, this is the button for stock image. So I'm just going to click on that. It's going to bring up a menu where I can search the term ice cream. Notice they have a ton of photos. So I'm just going to go here and type ice cream. I'm going to hit enter. And it comes up with a bunch of different stuff. And I'm just going to select this one. Notice that it puts a little check mark there. Notice I can select multiple also. Actually, let's do that. Let's see what happens when I select multiple. Oh, I like that one. And let's go with that one. So I hit insert. It's downloading the photos. And there we go. Now we have our 3 photos. And again, it gives me options over here on what I want to do. Do I want it to look like that? Do I want it to look like that? This one maybe? Okay, and it doesn't always do a perfect job. Notice there that the ice cream is cut off at the top. Doesn't do a perfect job. It's just trying to give you some suggestions. I like that one right there. That one's kind of cool. Okay, let's go into presentation mode to see what it looks like. So again, how much time did this take though? This took what? 3 minutes to make this slide. I typed in a few things. We found a couple photos that we don't actually own. They're just stock photos. So you may see this in somebody else's presentation, but that's okay. It livens up your presentation though. It gives people something to think about, something to look at while you're out there briefing. Now, it might be more appropriate to, let's see, maybe you wanted to actually have a picture of water and one of Supreme Pizza too. That's fine. Delete, get rid of this. Come up here and do insert, stock image. We're going to find one of pizza and we're going to find one of water. Remember, it was Supreme Pizza, right? We got to find that. Let's see. I think this looks pretty decent. And then let's find that last one. What was it? Water. Insert picture, stock image. And water. And probably need to put drinking water because that came up with a lot. There we go. And maybe we do this one. And then notice it generates some different ideas again. And boom, there we go. Go back into presentation mode, and there's your slide. Really easy to put together, didn't take a lot of time, but looks really professional. Again, it did mess up the ice cream cone, so maybe I wouldn't go with this one, but I think you guys get the point. All right. Let's see here. All right, so let's just do a little bit of a review, and then I'll have a couple little like little references and forms that we'll go through together, and then we'll call it a night. This is again just our basic introduction to PowerPoint, and in the next couple weeks we'll continue to dive into it and develop some more, and then hopefully some of you guys come visit us at the Mission Africa office throughout the month. You guys will have an opportunity to do a presentation in class and put together a couple slides about yourself, just like I just did right here.